Hey folks, it's Greg and Janet of Strange RV Tours. We'd like to welcome you to another episode in our series on historic properties in Goldfield, Nevada.
Strange RV Tours will take you places with Greg and Janet's smiling faces. You might see a crazy flavored soda review or some tips to fix your RV too. So come along, won't you join us, friend, as we discover what's around the bend. Just sit right back in your easy chair. Strange RV Tours is on the air. Strange RV Tours is on the air.
Okay, this location was called the Rmitage Saloon Site. Okay, but it burnt down in 1923. And that's on Crook Street and Main Street. And then it was rebuilt in 1925 and it's called the Chat and Chew Building. So this is what's left here.
They've added an addition to this that is a train car. Or a...
What do you call those on? Container.
Container, yes. And we'll take you around to the front and show you what the building looks like now. This is not the original building, but this building has been here since 1925.
Yeah.
And it was some type of a restaurant or eatery. Chat and Chew.
Pretty cool.
And this is it. And it sits directly across from where the Northern Club was. Now, were these both bars over here too?
Yep.
Okay. And the two buildings across the street were also bars. At one time, Goldfield had 49 bars. All right, folks, this little property here, this little house, little stone house, was built in 1905. Just a little stone house. We don't know anything about it other than that. Neat little property though. Man, that is some serious stones though. You look at the width of those stones are a foot wide. I mean, this thing would be, it could be a bomb shelter. Nobody's gonna hurt this thing. What a neat little old building. That's awesome. Boy, it's in good shape too. Roof's in good shape. Doesn't look like any severe weather damage or water damage. We're on 2nd Street and Myers in Goldfield. And this little home here in front of us was built in 1925. It's listed as a historical building. And I believe this was the original building, and it looks to me like this building was built after, because this building over here has more modern plumbing in it, or modern electrical, and the framing looks more like what they do today. And this building has more of a modern siding on it over here, whereas this building, the siding is much older and it still has the original wood siding on the front. So wow, it had a drop down ceiling.
Yeah, they put one in, huh?
Yeah,
Looks like it could have been an office.
yeah, could have been
I don't know.
at one time, huh? Yeah. Wow.
Nasty.
This was the kitchen, and it's got water damage to the floor over here.
Yeah.
It's real spongy.
Yeah, this is the bathroom.
This must have been a bedroom. Or no, this must have been the dining room.
Really?
Well, it's right off the kitchen.
Yeah.
Is there a bathroom leading off of it? Yes, there is a bathroom leading off of it. So this quite possibly could have been a bedroom.
And this might have been another bedroom. Extra bedroom. I don't know.
My goodness, I don't know if this floor is gonna hold up or what. Wow.
Well, looks like this had a few layers of wallpaper.
Does it?
Yeah, looky.
We used to be in the wallpaper business. Oh goodness,
See?
yes.
Good old days.
Wow.
That looks like fabric there too. See?
Yeah, possibly.
Wow.
Oh, there's a bunch of layers over here, isn't there?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Very good.
Yeah, yeah. That is strange.
The ceiling's coming down here. Watch your step, baby.
Got a bright blue ceiling. Little bitty place. Okay. We'll walk into the one next door too, because I'm not sure, 100% sure, if this is the historic property. I believe it is. I'm about 99% sure it is. But this other one is attached, so I'm not sure which one was built first. I believe the one that we went in first was built. Yeah. Yeah, this one is this one's definitely more modern.
Yeah.
It's
It
got-
was like an office, but because look, Greg, see how I had the office type trim?
Yeah.
And there's no bathroom in here. There's nothing. This was an office.
He
over
probably had his house on one side and office on the other, huh?
here. Yep.
Interesting. Interesting place. I'm on Crook Street here in Goldfield, Nevada, and we have another historic property here in front of us. There are 2 bottle houses left in Goldfield, 2 of the original bottle houses, and this is one of them. This home building was constructed out of mud, clay, and bottles. You see the bottles on the walls there? They actually made very good insulation. And this is what's left of it. We did do a video just on this property, oh goodness, about 6 months ago, so I'm not going to go too in depth into this property, but this is what is left of it. You can see all kinds of bottle debris on the ground back behind this little container, and in the container, and on the ground everywhere inside of this house. You see bottles, bottles, bottles. Even in the foundation of the building there are bottles. Back in the early 1900s, it was hard to get building supplies, so you used what you had locally. You only had items shipped in that you absolutely had to have. And this home was built in 1905, so it was basically built out of whatever they had right here in this area. Back up so you can see it a little better. They have it fenced off, I'm sure, because they're going to start the restoration process of it. It looks like when I did my last video on this home, it was much more intact than it is now. So it looks like they took down part of the walls in order to reshore them up, possibly. But isn't that neat? This beautiful property we have here is at 438 West Crook Avenue, right on the main street in Goldfield. And this was Ben Rosenthal's boarding house, built in 1908. Ben Rosenthal was an early businessman here in Goldfield who helped promote the 42-round Gans-Nelson fight. And then several years ago, the last owners of the home were going to turn this into a museum, but I guess it never actually made it all the way to the finishing point for the museum. The current owners said that if I had come here a year ago, that I wouldn't recognize the place. That they had ceiling tiles that were covering the outside walls of the building when they, I guess, purchased it or decided to restore the home, and they have done a wonderful job. I mean, it looks wonderful now. It really does. They very lovingly restored this property. Beautiful, beautiful home. And Ben Rosenthal, who originally owned this property, like I said, he was one of the promoters for the Gans-Nelson fight. It was a legendary fight. It was a light heavyweight championship fight. The purse for that fight was $33,500. The proceeds from the ticket sales of that fight was over $69,000. That is really neat. That is a beautiful home. This was the Goldfield Turkish Bath facilities, built in 1907 by the Goldfield Plunge and Turkish Bath Company of Columbia, Nevada. The facility had an artistic reception and a lounging room furnished in Turkish style, lit by means of oriental lamps. Patrons could read the latest literature, enjoying a quiet smoke. There were dressing rooms and rest apartments, and for those whose homes were not furnished with bathing facilities, there were half a dozen porcelain tub baths. So I'm assuming that the porcelain tub baths were probably in this area here. This is the original stairs. The original stone stairs going down to the Turkish baths. And right over here behind us in this brush was where the hot spring originated, bubble up there, and then they would pipe it over here to the Turkish baths. And I'm going to take you around and take you down and let you see that where the pool was inside of this Turkish bath facility. And this sits on the corner of Miners and Columbia in Goldfield, Nevada. Let's see, this is the pool right here. Now, in 1923, the huge fire that took out a huge portion of Goldfield burned this building and destroyed it. So this is what remains from that time period. This was the original Turkish bath. And if you look closely, let's see if I can focus in here. You can see these eye bolts here. There's eye bolts all around the Turkish bath. They had ropes that they would string across the eye bolts so that people could hold on to the ropes while they were in the hot water. This was the original ladder down into the pool, and all of this piping, you see all of this I guess you call it a wall or fencing material. This was originally water pipes here in Goldfield. If you look closely, you can see they were rolled steel that was riveted together. But this was the Turkish baths here in Goldfield. Beautiful, neat location. I had no idea there was a hot spring even in Goldfield until I ran into this building. And one of the locals here explained to me how this Turkish bath, the water was supplied by a hot spring that was over in these bushes here that is no longer here. Hot spring has dried up. Fascinating, though. You can still see the stone stairs. These stone stairs are in as good a shape as the day that the fire occurred, it looks like. I mean, they're really, really in good shape.
Here we go.
Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Historic Properties in Goldfield, Nevada. If you did, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, hit the little bell up in the corner. Please share these videos. And Miss Janet, do you have anything you'd like to add?
I love this stuff. It's awesome.
Take it easy, folks. Bye-bye.